Okie dokie. It's 10 to 2 p.m. on the 10th of 12th, 2016. Today I'm on the human rights page. Sorry about the jiggles. There you go, human rights up top there. And we're going to talk about asylum. You can go to the first one, living equally, fairly, and free, and stuff like that. An asylum, when you feel fear of prosecution or their beliefs. Equal rights, protection before and after the law, like I said yesterday. Being able to know on a website what the RCMP or police, military, doctors, or whatnot on your own webpage, on your personal information of a lifetime that you can look up. From statements written by other people making complaints about you to doctors, the police themselves, job references, banking records, medical records, and that's about it for records, I guess. But even what your school teacher says about you as well. So you can seek an asylum away from their ill belief that may harm you in any way. This video for 14 or 33 seconds shows a kid running, same thing, notifying authorities in other countries, the United Nations, that you're being harmed in the 21st century of Canada in a modern world of phones and the internet and letters to send off a letter saying I'm being harmed and I need some help and I need some fair and equal protection before and after the law to represent me or give me some information to help me in any way. An asylum isn't where they want you to go because that's their human control. It's where you want to go and feel safe, like going to Mars, jumping in a spaceship and going to another world where you'll never have to deal with their bullshit or their association with other people that will come after you and harm you as well. It's a pretty sad world when there's nowhere to go other than into their bait and trap or trap-like devices that they tell you where to go, and it's just another bullshit scenario that you're harmed. Like looking for a better livelihood from city to city and being ran and never finding enough money to live there. Or anywhere in the country. Fair wages.
According to estimates, over 1 billion people live in appalling levels of poverty. Denied even basic standards of food, water. Nearly half of the world's population earns less than.
You'll get the point. There's right to copyright. Fair, free world.
This is a brand new country. Mom, it's a whole different culture. Okay. Now make sure you stay with her the whole time. I'll be here right after school to pick you up. Okay, Mom. Okay, have fun. Bye-bye. Bye. Ignore my mom. She's so annoying. She's totally freaked out. She always does that.
And you can look at it. It's 1 to 30. The story of human rights is on there too. All you do is click the thing.
Created you at birth.
Equal and fair trials, not to be prosecuted under somebody's ill faith that will injure your right to health, your right to movement,
Your first kiss. It's with you when you win.
to be able to be upright, walk around,
When you
to
lose.
play, and everything else.
When you pick yourself up again. In every moment. You can feel it. Life. Human right number 3. The right to life.
Where would I go if the world had no limits? If I could defy all boundaries? If I could ride the wind? Where would it take me? If all roads were open to me, where would I go? If I could fly, if I were free to move.
The right not to be tortured, to be psychologically assaulted, physically assaulted, starved to death. That means hit, beat, or psychologically assaulted by playing mind games. Strung along in jobs, barely surviving and not leaving an equal life to those around you.
He just wouldn't stop.
The right to own property, the right to an education, discrimination by a grade that doesn't allow you to move forward to the next stage, to obtain a driver's license after taking a class, a firearms acquisition, or to further your life. If it's mandatory to have a grade 12 to go to university, to be in the construction trade or cook in the industrial sector and vocational schools, then it's out of hand that it's all based on discrimination, like money and a wage or a grade that you can obtain something in life. Just like a ranking of nobility or monarchy to a peasant. That no one can afford life. And that we're being prosecuted. That life in the government is communism. And all their friends and foes still run the private sector. They call it private sector. Instead of having communists, everybody works. And only they choose who works and who doesn't still to today. Just like the peasants in communism, they had poverty still before World War II that lived off the fat of the land, who they all executed, supposedly, according to Russian Holocaust and German Holocaust, to those who they allowed to work in communism, in their factories, and in their businesses, who could afford to own stuff to sell because they had money somehow. Anyhow, our human rights and rights of freedom by the Charter of Canada, laws and ethics that have been around for 75 years or more, at least since 1948. But if you look at the story of human rights, it tells you it's been going on for many, many years. And I don't know what else to say. It's all right there. Your right to an asylum. And to know what other people are saying against you, if the RCMP are helping them, like it seems like they've done to me, and insulted me all along the way. And just like VR, stand around me and assault me, and no one stand up and protect me for the rights and freedom. That's right, 1860
It still took a bunch of British
or
rebels
19,
declaring their independence
what was it?
before the
19,
king got the and eventually to Rome. They noticed that people naturally followed certain laws.
17
even if they
BC,
weren't told
it goes to
They called
16
this
something.
natural law.
It tells you all the dates in
That's
it.
being trampled on by those in power.
Wrongful prosecution, and every time you turn around, you're popping up another scenarios to make me feel like somebody else. Even dating people and breaking up with them to see if I could handle it. It's just common occurrence. A job doesn't last forever, a relationship's not going to last forever, and that's just the way it works. You try to move on and try to find a better livelihood, but it's just a trap from wherever you go to another place, and the same shit happens over and over again. It means it's a cult or some type of organization. Guilt by association, follow the money trail, and you'll find out who's who by the subcontractors messing up your life. Everybody needs an asylum off this earth, away from the associations of the Canadian government, North American government, or British government, who seem to run our country still. Anyhow, to seek asylum is calling somebody, like I said before, on the phone, the internet, or sending a letter to the United Nations saying human rights are being violated in Canada or North America or the world, and we need to seek protection because Canada, the United States, and Britain, and the rest of the world have signed the United Nations or the Declaration of Human Rights in 1948 and are supposed to be following by these laws, rules, and ethics to protect everybody equally before and after the law, and they are not. They're assaulting us ignorantly, and we're not getting fair trials, and they're taking justice in their own hand, and it's not a legal justice system without a court judge. And even if they're wrongfully looking at it as well, for cruel acts and punishment, because you didn't teach us from K to 12 what anything was, because we didn't have mandatory laws or teach us properly. If it's mandatory, you better be giving it to us for free if we need to know this information. That's why you created school, so we had no knowledge as well. So it was all equally learned, and everybody knew the exact same things in life till you went to further education of university, which made you better so you could have better jobs in societies, doctors, teachers, lawyers, and government officials out there. K to 12 and a grade is discrimination to obtain something. Have a good day.